Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be reading my most priority read of the year. I have been excited for this book since last year. I think I put it on my TBR around 4 months ago, if not more. I've had really great reviews. I recently read a book by the same author and I really enjoyed it as well. So I think this book might be my favorite book of the year, but we'll see. And that book is Sword of Kaigen. I have heard so many good things about this. It is a bit overwhelming because it's like 700 pages and they're not small pages, but it's supposed to be magnificent. So yes, in this video I'm going to be reading this book, and I'm also going to be talking about my most anticipated releases later on. So if you want to hear what I'm excited about for this year, stay tuned. Let's get started. I think this is going to take me a while to get through, so let's just get on with it. I think I'm gonna struggle a little with this book because just of how much of the explanation is needed of like the fear types and other things. But you know, that's what happens when you have epic fantasy, and this is going to be my first epic fantasy of the year. I think I only read 2 or 3 last year and it was a little bit harder to read, but you know, I'm excited because that means it's gonna be, I don't know how to say it, but like have more oomph to it. How do I say it? I don't know. Maybe I'll find out when I'm editing. The other book that I read was Blood of a Bright Heaven and I rated it 5 stars. So you should read that book as well if you like fantasy. It wasn't as much of an epic fantasy, but it was definitely shorter, but it was amazing. So this book is so big that it's actually hard to hold it because it's so heavy. So I might download it on my Kindle and read some on my Kindle because it's so heavy. I'm gonna have to be reading it like this, and I don't like to do that. I like to lie down when I'm reading. So I'll see. It's kind of interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen because I have no idea what this book is about. I'm going into it blind because I don't want to spoil myself anything actually. I know it's gonna get scary and sad. But for now it's fun, so yeah. So I'm almost on the 200th page. This has surprised me quite a lot. I didn't know what I was getting myself into because, like I said before, I didn't read anything about this book. Like, I didn't know what the plot is gonna be. We start off with 2 perspectives. One is of Mamoru, a 14 years old fighter student. His purpose is learning his family's fighting techniques and he has to master them. That's his whole purpose of life. He has to master the technique to be able to give it on to his family line later on. The second perspective is Misaki, who is the mom of Mamoru. And at first, she's a housewife, you know, traditional values. The action is happening on furthermost point of Kaigen, and they live by traditionalist values. The woman takes care of the kids, takes care of the household. The men are the fighters. They're very well known, very renowned, and that's why the women are standing more to the side. But there's more to Misaki than we first are led to believe. And as Mamoru is at school, he meets a new boy. He's a new exchange student from the city, and he brings a new perspective to his life and changes him a lot. While he's discovering his new values, we are also getting a glimpse into his mom's past life. And let me tell you, it's interesting and crazy and I'm definitely really enjoying it. When I said before, I think I'm gonna struggle to understand all the phrases and abbreviations, It's actually not that hard to understand. You can grasp all of these really easily. I'm reading it mostly on my Kindle. I just check the pages sometimes. The story right now is interesting by itself, but you know there is something looming that's going to happen, and I'm so excited to find out what it is and what's gonna happen. It's finally a bit sunnier, so I decided to film the anticipated reads now, even though I haven't done even 50% of the Sword of Kaigen, but I gotta take advantage of the sun when I have it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about what I'm excited for this year, what is going to be released, and also give you guys any inspiration of what to read. And also, if you didn't know that the books were coming out, well, now you know. I don't know what I'm most excited for, so this is not going to be ranked at all. The first one I wanted to talk about was Catabasis. I have read Babel and Yellowface from R.F. Kuang, and I loved both of those books. Babel changed my life. I am still to read The Poppy War, and I'm really excited to read that too. And I need to read it soon because I want to read it before Catabasis is released. But we'll see when that happens. I think I will have enough time to read The Poppy War before because it releases on 28th of August, and that gives me a couple of months still. It's like the middle of February right now when I'm filming this. Hopefully this is out in the beginning of March because there's some books that are released in March, so I wanted to post it before. I think I might read The Poppy War maybe in March or April. If you don't know what Catabasis is going to be about, it's going to be about two academic rivals going to the underworld to try to rescue their professor or something like that. I have seen some videos going around of what you should read before, and one of them is Dante's Inferno, so that's on my list. It's on my bookshelf, and I am going to read it soon. But yeah. Next up is Sunrise on the Reaping. Of course, I'm a Hunger Games girly through and through. I have read those books in, I don't even know when, so long ago, and I love them. I was a Peter Malak girl. I had a lot of George Hutchison Pinterest boards, and you know, I was obsessed. And Suzanne Collins just knows how to write a good book about oppression and revolution, and the fact that Sunrise on the Reaping is going to take place before, and it's going to be about Haymitch's games, it makes me really excited because I have always wanted to know what it was like for him and what he did and what he had to go through. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see. This releases on 18th of March, so really soon. And I can't wait. If you know me from TikTok, you know I love Shatter Me. So I'm really excited for Watch Me. This is coming out in April, and it's going to take place a couple of years after Shatter Me finishes. And we're going to be in Adam's brother's head, James. So I think it will be very interesting to see his perspective. There was an excerpt released on Tahir Mafi's Instagram. I have not read it because I don't want to read it yet. I don't know. I want to leave that kind of secretive thing. I don't know. I just want to wait until I have that book in my hands to read anything. James is going to be some kind of spy. I had people are outraged because James is a little bit more like Aaron than Adam. To me, that, I don't know. I'm excited because I loved Aaron. I love James. I don't know. I am hoping the perspective is going to be much different. I actually don't know what to expect like at all. That's what I have to say about this book. Next is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. It's actually crazy to me because the first book I read of Olivia Blake's was Atlas 6, and I didn't even like that book. I gave it 3 stars. It was just a little bit too mumbled for me. The magic system didn't feel fleshed out enough. Then I read One for My Enemy, and that book changed my life. That was a 6-star read for me. It's one of my favorite books ever. And then I picked up Alone with You in the Ether, and that book also changed my life. And I think Olivia Blake is going to be one of my favorite authors. So Of course, I'm excited for Gifted and Talented, and that is going to come out 1st of April. I have seen people get arcs of this book and I'm so jealous. Same with Catabasis, to be honest. Like, the people that got the original arc, don't even talk to me because... Anyway, Gifted and Talented is going to be following 3 siblings, and upon the death of their father, they have to compete in some kind of way against each other for their inheritance. I don't want to spoil myself too much, so I don't want to read into it too much because I think going into it blind is going to be amazing. So that's as far as what I know, really. I just know it's some kind of telepathic, magnetic, magical something. And while we're talking about Olivia Blake, she also has another book coming out this year, and it's called Girl Dinner. It's coming out in October. I think this is going to be more of a general fiction, because it's going to be following wealthy mums and sorority girls following a new regime. I don't know, like kind of diet, kind of, you know, that's interesting to me because you know how diets are. They're always destructive to women, and I think that's going to be discussed in this book. And I can't wait because Olivia Blake always has a way of saying things. So I think we're going to go on a crazy journey with this one, and yeah. And lastly, I'm excited for Every Spiral of Fate. That's the 4th book of the Sword of Kingdom series. Definitely not the last, but I am in love with that series. I picked it up around a year ago, and you know, the magic system and I think the atmosphere in the books is really, really unique. I've not read a lot of books with that kind of setting. It's more like Middle Eastern, and also Tahar Mafi knows how to write a good romance because, bro, the romance in that series, it's so good. It's so good. It's like, it's rivaling Shatter Me, I think. That kind of aspect. I think the quotes from that series, wow. It's just, yeah. So I can't wait. Hope you guys are also interested in these releases, and if not, maybe you are interested in them now. Let me know what you are interested in this year and what you're excited for. There is so many good books, and I have even more. I just have to prioritize what I'm gonna read because there's too many books that I want to read. I just know every book is gonna hit. I think. I'm hoping. Let's get back into reading because I gotta get on with it. I'm not even halfway through. It's actually quite messy in my kitchen and overall in my front room. So as usual, I will put my audiobook on and get to cleaning because it's giving not good. I have not been in a reading mood, but I am really liking the book, so what a perfect time for an audiobook. Let's go! So I'm finally more than 50% done with the book. I was not expecting what happened at all. See, the book is called A Theonite War Story, right? Okay. And I was expecting more, obviously. I just thought since Blood over Bright Haven, it took 50%, maybe a little bit more to get to like the main point of the book to like get started, and like the first half of it was just like an introduction to the world and to the magic system and all of that. It was very world building heavy in the beginning. I was expecting the Sword of Kaigen to take the same kind of route because it's the same author. However, War started 30% in. So I'm just now done with like probably maybe the first part of the war at 60% of the book. what else is coming? So much has happened. So much has happened already. I don't know what else is going to happen. And I've already shed so many tears. I didn't catch it on camera, which is so sad, but I've screamed, I've cried, and it's intense. It's intense, okay? One thing I want to say is I like having the physical book. I'm glad I have it because there is like phrases and words that I do not understand, and there's a glossary at the back, as you have with like high fantasy books or sci-fi books. So I do like to refer to the physical books to check the meaning of some words, so that's very, very useful. Yeah, because on the Kindle it would be so hard to check or the meaning of some words because you'd have to you skip, and yeah, it would be annoying. So it's very, very useful. And also I like seeing how much I have read because I like the reminder of how much is left, and also the weight of this is just making me like, wow, yeah, I'm reading, you know, I'm reading. But yeah, I'm scared but excited to see what else is coming. Don't make me feel bad for him now. Bro, what the heck? What? What the... Okay guys, I'm finally on the last chapter. It is 60 pages long, I think, a little bit more maybe. And my outfit and the weather might not reflect what's gonna happen in this chapter because, I don't know, I feel like the last chapter is gonna break me. I don't know why, but I just think that might be the case. And so my outfit might not exude that energy, but I think I will still read it on the Kindle because it's just easier to just hold it like this. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have to say this book was definitely nothing like what I expected. I rated it 4 stars. I was expecting much more war and I don't know, just like tragedy. It's still very tragic, to be honest, but it's also more than that. I think the book's point is not about the war and the tragedy and misery. It's about family and how every character related or reacted to war and to its impacts. And that's what is the greatest about this book, is the characterization of everyone. The characters of Mamoru and Misaki were so well done. With Mamoru is how he reacted to news that he didn't want to believe, and also his struggle to live up to his name, whether it is in what his name means in Japanese, which is to protect or to his family name, Matsuda, which is one of the best writing family where he lives. With Misaki, we go through a very intense but gradual development, and how her character changes throughout this whole book is amazing. This book touches on how important family and familiar relations are in the face of immense tragedy. What else I really enjoyed was the female friendships in this book. They were so important. It was so well done. It was so well done. I also thought the adulthood and parenthood in this book was one of the greatest I've seen, really. I know some people have compared the Sword of Kaigen's fights to Brandon Sanderson's battles. I haven't read Brandon Sanderson, so I cannot speak about that, but if you are a fan of him, you might be interested to hear that. There was one duel in this book that I thought was so amazing, because not only was it described in so much detail, I was wanting to soak it in so much, so fast. I literally wanted to inject it into my veins. I wanted to breathe it in, but also the meaning of the duel was just, it was just like surpassed everything I ever thought about. And it was just incredible. So that's mainly what I have to say about this book. I don't want to make it too much of a review because I've talked about too many things in this video. But yeah, this book is amazing, but don't go into it thinking it's just about war, it's just about battles and all of that. It's much more about the development of characters and the family aspect. Also, the last chapter was not as tragic as I thought it was gonna be. It was much more of a setup to other books ML Wang has written, and I just found out that there is a duology, I think, before this book. This is basically a standalone that is a preface to a series she has written some time ago. So thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to let me know what you are most excited for to release this year. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!